Salibonani guys, in the studio today we have got Sisi. She's going to introduce herself and explain to us what is it that she's specialized on. Salibonani, Sisi, you can introduce yourself today.
Hi everyone, my name is Nompelo. I'm residing at Masiphumelele, Fishhoek. I'm working at Sinatema Special Care Center here in Masiphumelele. I'm working with children with autism. It's been 20 years now I've been working at Sinatema.
Okay, so can you explain to your viewers what is it that you call it ASD?
ASD is described as Autism Spectrum Disorder. Then it means that there are children that are born in a spectrum. That means when I describe autism as a whole, it's a neurodevelopment disorder. It affects the way the body and the mind of a person functions. Yes.
Okay. So, in this case, when what are the things? What causes this autism?
Till today, around the whole world, we still don't know what causes autism.
Okay.
Because the child is born and then the child will reach the early milestones. Then at the age of 1 year, 6 months or 2 years, it's when the autism starts to show its signs.
So do we have any early signs that you see that your child has got autism?
Yes, what happens is when the child reaches the early milestones, then at the age of 1 year, 6 months or 2 years, like in most cases, it's 2 years.
Okay.
Then the child will start like regressing. They start not talking while they will start. Remember, when the child is like 6 months, they start that babbling.
Okay.
And then when the child is like 1 year, 6 months, then they start waving or smiling. Or then when autism like now starts to show, then the child regresses. They don't have eye contact. Some they like isolate themselves,
hit the walls, becoming violent sometimes, making noise.
Yeah, sometimes they get quiet, and then while they were starting going to toilet by themselves or trying to show the signs, then they don't show the signs anymore, and then they flipping or they hitting their head on a wall. They got like they will cry for no reason, and then sometimes, most of the time, they don't know danger. You see, they will just cross the road without looking, and then like they don't interact with other children, or they don't play with toys. They just like isolate themselves. They like to be alone.
So tell me, in these cases when a child is born and then you find that there are two parents, remember there's a father and mother, tell us, what is it the most things that you're discovering between the parents when the child is autism?
Most of the time, some parents, when the child like starts showing the signs of autism, there are parents that will notice that something is wrong with my child. Then they take the child to the clinic or to the hospital or the doctor. Then the doctor will diagnose the child is autistic. So because of there's limited knowledge about autism, so the parent will be like, mostly in our black community, we will like be saying that, oh, my child is being bewitched, or someone did this to my child and all that, because my child, it's just that they don't know that the signs of autism starts when the child is 2
So
years.
do we usually get where parents divide, some they even run away from their children?
Yes, there are parents that, especially when the child is severe on autism. So sometimes there are parents, like especially male parents, that they will like, I can't, because this child is banging, everything is crying, and is, then
what are they scared of when you think?
The mother will, the stigma.
Okay.
First of all, and then they can't cope with the noise. Remember, some male parents, even if it's a newborn, when you know how the newborns are crying, so they are male people like, can you please make that child, because I want to sleep, I'm working tomorrow. imagine now when the child is autistic, the child is on the table jumping, screaming, taking the things off the cupboards and everywhere. So most of male men will be like, no, this is not me, I need a quiet place and I need a child that is normal. I don't know what is going on here.
Okay. So what are the other challenges that you think people with autism or children with autism faces in our communities?
Because of limited knowledge in our communities about autism, state laba bantu baya escape.
Okay.
They really run, because it's like, okay, I can see the space, then they go in, not intentionally. It's just that they like, okay, the gate is open, then they go in. Then there are people out there who will say, oh, Nompelo doesn't take care of her child and the child cannot talk and all that and all that. But people who don't know my child or who don't know me, they will say, like posting on Facebook, there is this child cannot talk, and then the parents are careless. How come you are with the... There is no parent that cannot look after her child. You see, but it's just that Lava understands that they can escape.
Okay.
You know, they can jump because they don't know
do they
the
get the
danger.
same treatment within the community, within the children when they're playing?
There are children that remember, children is children.
Yeah.
You know, so most of our autistic children, remember I said they don't interact. So but as they grow, they will try, like they will say, oh, they're kicking the ball, okay, let me interact with them. But now they don't know how, because nobody taught them that, okay, you kick the ball like this. Remember the daddy ran away.
Yes.
So there's no person that, so okay, you kick the ball like this. So when they get out there, then they take the ball and they run with the ball. Then